Hey everybody, welcome. Dream Whiskies Night, 7 o'clock. Good to see you. So 7 o'clock here in the UK. It's the 25th of March and I hope you're all well. Just want to say up front, because it's the only time I'm going to say it, obviously loads of lockdowns going on, loads of people sort of shut away and putting up with everything that's going on. So for the next sort of 45 minutes to an hour, this is all about having a bit of fun, nothing serious, alcohol involved, cocktails, all that sort of stuff. So just join us, kick back and try and take your mind off the madness that is going on at the moment. And remember that if you are with us, make sure you say hello, put comments in there and chat to us as we are going along. So what have we got lined up for you? Well, before I tell you what we got lined up for you, I need to introduce you to my guest for this evening. And how can I introduce this person? Well, I've thought of a few things that I can say. So first of all, this person has been involved in one way or another with Dream Whiskies since the very beginning. She has been, I don't know, the brains and the beauty behind the lack of brains and lack of beauty for a very long time. She's here for every single broadcast, although not sitting there. It is, of course, my wife. This is Cheryl. So say hello to Cheryl. And she come in. Hello, darling.
Hello.
Right.
Everybody.
Oh, and that's one of our dogs. So obviously we are locked down at the moment, which means that it's just the two of us in here, including our dogs, which means there's a very good chance that the dogs could be barking, as one of them has just proven. We've got one dog sitting here on Cheryl's lap. So that's, you've seen this little one before, by the way. This is Alfie, who many of you have seen before. Who have we got with us? Carl, good to see you. Thank you for joining us. Richard Webster, I've been looking forward to this. So have I. Who else have we got? Cat Jam. Is that your name? But hello. It's a cool name if that's your name. Paul, how are you doing? Always good to see you. And a hello, Cheryl, from Carl as well. And a hi, Cheryl, from Paul. So look, good to see you all. It is becoming more and more unusual, the circumstances that we're living in. So I'm trying to make our broadcast a little bit more fun and broader for everyone. So we've got a few things going on. Let me tell you what we've got going on for this evening's broadcast. So we have 3 cocktails that I'm going to be making for you this evening. But most importantly, one of them is the first time we've done a mix with me. So I've been letting people know, hopefully you know this already from the post that we put out. I've been letting people know what I'm going to mix for cocktail number 3. I've been saying, get the ingredients yourself, and then we can mix those drinks together. So that will be the 3rd one that we do. So just in case you don't know what those ingredients are, I told you to get a bottle of whiskey, your choice, whatever it is, some jam, again, your choice, your flavor, whatever that is, and a lemon. Those are the 3 ingredients you need. Obviously, you're going to need a bit of ice and something to shake with as well. If you don't have a shaker, you can use anything. You can use like a water jug or an old jar or something that you can shake with. You're going to need all of that. Hopefully some of you have got that, but if you haven't, you can go and get those during the broadcast as well. So we've got that coming up. We've got our VIP giveaway. We've got some facts for you. Tonight's theme is famous drinkers and their quotes. So we've got some sort of cool stuff for you there. We're going to be announcing the winners of last week's competitions in just a sec. Plus, I'm also going to play Guess What I'm Drinking. Now, what I'm going to do is, you know, we always start with a toast. I get you to have a toast with us as well. Tell us what you're drinking. Let's just see who else is with us. Hello, Cheryl. Got a few hello, Cheryls. Hi, Paul. Hi, Cheryl. Richard's with us. Bob, how you doing? Bruce, hello, Paul. Cheryl and Alfie. That's like the triple crown. Thank you for that, Bruce. Hello all, Sherry's with us as well. Look good to see you. Great, look, we normally start with a drink. I've got a whiskey in here. I'm not going to tell you what it is because you're going to have to guess, but I'm going to pour something for Cheryl.
Thank you.
And this is, some of you may have seen this. Let me just put it up to, there you go. Can you see that? I'm not sure. It says amber on it, but this is Macallan Amber Liqueur. Now, they started making this about, I don't know, 8-9 years ago. It was pretty popular, but because they needed pretty much all their grain for their whiskey, they stopped making this, which now means that getting hold of a bottle of this is really difficult. In fact, you do well to pick up a bottle of this for £300, £400, £500. Now, we didn't pay that for this bottle. We got it at the time when it was a reasonable price. But it's all based on Macallan whiskey. It's got a beautiful sweetness to it and an incredible aroma of what? What is in there? What's the killer flavor? Pecans. And this is Cheryl's favourite. I'm not allowed to touch it, but she's going to have some of that this evening. So I'm just going to pour that for Cheryl. There we go.
Have an ice, please.
And a piece of ice. Okay, you see, now that I've got a customer who also is the boss, we might find that she's going to be giving me quite a few directions this evening. There we go. Now, what I have is not that, but just for a bit of fun, I'm going to give you clues as we go through the evening as to what is in my glass. Okay. You can't give it away, obviously, but you've got to try and guess. So if you think you know what's in my glass, then pop it up here in the comments. Tony Miller's saying, missed the last few videos. We're glad you're here tonight. Sherry, Kim, and Sherry, good to see that. Simi is with us. How are you doing, Simi? Bruce, what you got going on there? Having a sweet and sour version of a Godfather. Wow, you're just pushing the boundaries every week there. Adrian, hi, how are you doing? Bob as well. Spot price questions are from last week again. I do that just for you, Bob. But as you know, the moment that we finish the broadcast, I turn it over. Actually, I'm going to tell you, I forgot to do it again. But hey, Jane has joined us. Jane, how are you doing? Carl and Simon as well. Right, you've got to guess what I'm drinking. So we know that that is a Macallan Amber. I'm going to give you some clues. They're going to start off hard. If you think you know what the whiskey is, pop it in there. Prizes for this? No prizes. Just the feeling of warmth and well-being for being the first one to get the answer. So I'm going to tell you that this whiskey brand is owned by the Campari Group, but was previously owned by Pernod Ricard. So Pernod Ricard, great big drinks company. The Campari Group, great big drinks company. But both of those, in their time, have owned this brand of whiskey. There will be more clues coming up. Anybody guessing, by the way, just out of interest? Neil Phillips, day 8 of lockdown. Yeah, and what do you need? A whiskey. And where are you? Right here. Simone, Simi's lost the sound. I don't know what we're going to do about that. I might have to sign to Simi. Ed Hall, loving the shirt. Thank you, Ed. Feeling good in this shirt. Last minute decision, and Bob's on the Jamesons this week. All right, okay. So let's put this to this. Actually, we haven't even had a drink, have we?
Cheers.
Cheers to you. Cheers. Cheers to everyone that's joined us on this evening. Wow, okay, I'll give you another clue about this. It is an overproof whiskey. So this is not a 40% whiskey. It's up there. I'm not going to tell you the exact strength, but it's up there. Okay.
Can I try?
Yeah, you can try, of course. What do you tell me what you think? So actually, Cheryl and I have been to a number of whiskey distilleries over the years, and sadly for my rather fragile ego, it turns out she has a better palate than I do, according to all the master distillers that we've met. And what does your great palate tell you?
I think it's quite smooth. It's really nice.
Strong though?
Yeah, strong, really strong. It hit my nose straight away.
Yeah, but so and sweet. Would you say sweet?
Very sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So let me give you a couple of facts, because as you know, oh no, I've got to tell you our winners from last week first, haven't I? So as you know, we do a VIP whiskey giveaway every week, and last week's competition ended last night. So I've got the winner of that. And of course, we do our spot prize giveaway during this broadcast, and we have the winner of last week's one of those. So let me tell you, the winner of last week's bottle of whiskey, and you're going to pick your prize from our whiskey prize library on our website. It is Alan Walton. Alan Walton from Lancaster. Alan, are you there? Are you there? Wouldn't it be great if Alan was there? Just suddenly jumped up. By the way, evening, Paul. How you doing? Simon, everyone's talking to me. Simon is back. Paul, drinking the Loch Lomond Distiller's Cup. Paul, how many whiskies you got in your house? Wow. Okay, so Alan Walton won our whiskey competition for last week. And, here we go. Paul, how are you feeling? Sit yourself down, because the winner of last week's spot prize competition is Paul Slade. He's there. Paul, you win the bottle of Bushmills Irish whiskey. Now, that is cool. Talking to you as I was announcing it. Hope you're feeling good about that. So we have this competition every week. What I do is I share some facts, some interesting things through the broadcast. Then I post some questions at the end. Then you can enter. And if you're lucky enough, you're going to win a prize from us. This week's prize, by the way, so last week's was the Bushmills, which we just found out that Paul Slade has won. This week's prize is this. Excuse me, darling, as I do this. This is a Glencairn whiskey tasting glass. So this is what they call a copita. So it's more like a sherry glass. It's got a little cap on the lid, but perfect for tasting your whiskies. And that is our spot prize for this week. And what you're going to do is I'm going to share some facts about famous people and the quotes they made about whiskey during their lifetime. And then at the end, I'm going to ask you some questions about that. So, I don't know, pay attention, take some notes. I don't know, you can just chance your luck, I guess.
Play along.
Here we go. So, first one, most famous whiskey drinker of all time, I think, Frank Sinatra. He was famous, in particular, for drinking Jack Daniels. So famous for drinking Jack Daniels that when he died, they stuck a bottle of Jack Daniels Old No. 7 in his coffin with him. So they buried him with a bottle of Jack. And then sometime after his death, and in actual fact, only a few years ago, the Jack Daniels company released something called Sinatra Select. It was a special release. Actually, you know what? I got a bottle here. I was going to show you in a second. So it's a special release, and I'm going to keep talking to you while I get it. It's a special release to commemorate his life and his relationship. Here we go. This is it. I've got it here. What do you think? Comes in a little box like this. You got a little book here about the relationship between Sinatra and Jack Daniels. This is not the prize, by the way, just in case you're wondering. I'm just showing you that we got it. So they released that, but the thing that I wanted to tell you about was his quote, and this is one of my favorite whiskey quotes. And he said this is Frank Sinatra: "Alcohol may be man's biggest enemy, but God said, love your enemy." Boom. That's how you go. That's how you go with whiskey. I'll just have a little bit more of this. Enjoying that?
Oh, I adore it.
Just want to let you know, by the way, that Cheryl is my official taster. So as we make the cocktails, she's going to taste them. But she's also my biggest critic. So you're going to get an absolutely honest appraisal of our cocktails tonight. Remember, get the ingredients for the third one, which you're going to mix with me. Second fact for you, Samuel Longhorn Clemens. Do you know who that is?
No, I don't.
No, and a lot of people don't know that name.
No idea.
But they know the name Mark Twain. And that's who Mark Twain is. That was his born name, his birth name. Better known as Mark Twain, author of, among many other things, The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn. He is attributed a quote, which actually is such a famous quote about whiskey that it's written on T-shirts and inscribed on glasses, all sorts of things. You probably know it, but this is it. He said, "Too much of anything for you is bad, but too much whiskey is never enough." Loving that quote. All right, here we go. First cocktail of the evening. Let's have another little taste. Let's put it to the side. And this one I've got for you, we call a whiskey sublime. Now, this is not the one that we're making together. The one that we're making together is going to be the third one we do in this broadcast. But this one is just for you. You can take notes. You can try it before I do. I'm sure that lots of people are talking to us. What's going on here? Richard, how is isolating during this crazy time of year? Well, we're good because we're all together tonight, aren't we? Congratulations, Alan. Anthony saying congratulations, Alan. Jess Sisson has joined. Good to see you there. Jane, well done, Paul, for winning. Barry, congratulations. Paul, a few. I don't even know what you're saying. Wow, great. Oh, I see what you're saying. That was my previous question. Tony Miller drinking a Jura. Richard saying my dad would love that. You mean the JD? And what's this? Steve Simpson missed the first 10 minutes. Don't worry about that, Steve. Stick with us. You can always go back and watch that. Loads of chat, introductions, that sort of thing. So I'm going to put this first cocktail in this glass. And actually, we're using an ingredient that our friend and guest from 2 weeks ago, Jane, brought along for us. And she left, so we're going to put that in there. So first things first, I'm going to take my mixing glass, and the main ingredient, of course, with all of our cocktails is whiskey. And I'm using some Jamesons because we had Jamesons on the go last week. But I'm going to put in 35 ml of whiskey for this sublime, this whiskey sublime cocktail. So that's 25. I'm just going to put in a little bit more because I want it up to 35. That's good. Let's just pop that there. Then we're going to add some Grand Marnier. So I'm assuming that most of you know what this is. You know what this is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
What is it?
It's Grand Marnier.
That's what it is. There you go. Told you. Grand Marnier. So this is like yeah, exactly.
Orange.
Yeah, so you were just messing around.
Of course.
So this is an orange flavor liqueur. It's like a triple sec or a Cointreau, isn't it? This one's got a sort of plastic wrap on it, but it's the same as the ones that you recognize as far as those bottles are concerned. And we're going to add some Grand Marnier to the whiskey. And this time we're going to put in just 20 ml of Grand Marnier. So there's quite a bit of sweetness with Grand Marnier. And we don't want too much of the orange, but we want just enough to come through the drink. Okay. Now I'm going to put in some butterscotch liqueur. Now you can buy loads of different brands of butterscotch liqueur. But our guest from 2 weeks, is it 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
Jane was here? Jane, you're watching, I know. Was it 2 weeks ago that you were here? Anyway, Jane brought this along. This is one of the liqueurs that she makes at home. This is the butterscotch liqueur, and I want, again, 20 ml. So the same as I did for the Grand Marnier. So now we've got 35 of the whiskey, we've got 20 of the Grand Marnier, and we've got 20 of butterscotch liqueur. Now, to really bring this drink to life, we're going to add some cream. And I'm going to add around about, and I'm doing this by eye, but I'm going to add around about 30 to 35 ml of cream. You liking the look of this?
Yeah, definitely.
I think this one's going to be for you. Then we're going to add some ice and we're going to give it a shake. So quite a simple one to make. This is just adding the ingredients and a shake. There's nothing much more than that. So let me get my shaker. What does it smell like right now?
Oranges. It smells of oranges.
So the orange is coming through more
Yeah.
than anything.
Oh yeah, definitely.
All right, so let's get this in there. Be interesting to see once I've shaken it up whether it's still very orangey. So we give that a tap. And by the way, watch how I shake, because when you shake your cocktail with me later on, this is what I want you to do, the same as this. Okay, here we go. You're going to get a nice rhythm. Make sure it sounds good as well as looks good. And there we go. All right, let's open that up. Just pop that in there. And then I'm going to strain this into this beautifully tall LS8 martini glass. And as you see it running up the side of the glass, starting actually to look really very nice indeed. Okay, let me just put that there, put that to the side. So ordinarily at this point, I would taste it and tell you what I think about it. But actually, we have a taster here. Before you taste it, let's see what people are saying to us. Lubka, too much good whiskey is barely enough. That's how it goes. Jane, well done for winning last week. Let's just scrolling. I see you have last week's questions up still, Paul. Barry, I will change that, I promise you. As soon as this is done, I will change that page for you. Bruce, did you drink the bottle, Jane? Not sure. The answer is probably yes, I reckon. But anyway, regularly, says Jane. And Sandy has just joined us as well. So good to see you, Sandy. Right, cocktail number one, Whiskey Sublime. I'm just going to put it in front of the camera so people can see a little bit better. So this is what it looks up close. Nice, tall, creamy, and smooth. But what do you think?
Okay, let me try.
So this is a risk for me, obviously. Actually putting.
Doesn't I can't smell the orange.
So the orange is now sort of sat back.
Yeah.
Question is, do you taste it still?
Oh, that's good. That's really good.
Check that out.
Wow.
Did you see that? That's good. So when my wife says that's good, it's probably a sensational cocktail. Because I have to work hard to get you to say it's good, am I right?
I like that.
Just talking
Really
about the
nice.
cocktails, by the way. Yes, you
Yeah.
like that? Okay, let me have a little
No, you
taste.
leave that there.
Oh, I'm gonna leave. Can I not taste
No.
it? Right, okay. Can't taste that. That's cocktail number one. What else we got going down here? Bruce is with us. Not Bruce in America, but Bruce who lives not far from here. How you doing? Good to see you. You got a litre bottle of Jack Daniels. Opened many years ago. The stopper was put. Is it still okay? Yeah. Listen, Bruce, I think there's two ways to try this out. Either you taste it and decide for yourself, or even better, you bring it around here and I decide for you. I'm just guessing with the lockdown and everything, you better go for the first option. Sandy, hi, how you doing? No, it will have gone off. You better bring it to me, says Jane. Jane, get to the back of the queue. Tony, without a doubt, to Bruce. All right. Let me give you some more information, by the way. So, remember, what am I drinking? We still don't know. No one's guessed, actually, yet. So the first clue was that this whiskey is owned by the Campari Group. Second is this. And this is actually for whiskey geeks at the moment. If you're not much of a whiskey geek, this is still going to be a bit tough. But hey, stick with me. They get easier. This brand of whiskey actually got its name in 1940, although they've been producing it since 1891. So this whiskey, the name you know it as, only came along in 1940, but they have been making it for over 60 years. 60 years before that? Yeah, 50 years. 50 years before that. 50 years before that. All right, what have I got for you here? Yes, so our prize for tonight, just to remind you, what our prize is in our VIP giveaway is this. It's our Glencairn glass. And you can win that if you answer the questions coming up towards the end of our broadcast. But I got a couple more facts and quotes for you. So let's have a look. Raymond Chandler, author, Philip Marlowe. You know Philip Marlowe? So Philip Marlowe himself in the books is famous for drinking gimlet cocktails, which of course is gin and lime cordial. But Chandler himself was a whiskey drinker, and he said, or rather he described himself as an equal opportunities drinker. Meaning what? Meaning actually that he didn't favor any particular brand or product. He would just happily drink them all. He's also quoted as saying this, because we're always talking about quotes tonight: there are no bad whiskies. There are only some that are not as good as others. And actually, you know what? I go with that. I love all whiskey, I think, but I just love some more. I don't think there's any I hate. Can you think of any you don't like? No. Actually, I know one that you don't like.
Smoky one. The
smoky one, the Port Ascaille. So Cheryl's not particularly keen on the really peaty ones. What have we got here? Everyone's telling Bruce to go for it. This is go for it on the Jack Daniels, I think. I don't know, Bruce B. You better let us all taste it to be sure. The trouble is, Bruce A and Bruce B, as I'm going to call you now, you're about 6,000 miles away from each other, so you're going to struggle to share that one, I think.
Did you want to try my drink?
I'm going to try this. I'm definitely going to try this. Okay. Oh, that is gorgeous. I can get the orange through that as well. That's really soft and smooth. Right. Remember, I want you to guess. What am I drinking? Tell me what I'm drinking. If you know, I've given you a couple of clues already. Give you another clue. Oh, still as delicious as before. That's your other clue. And then also, so put it in there if you think you know what I'm drinking. If you get it right and you get it first, we'll give you a badge or something, just to say that you're really clever. Bruce, you're so selfless. How nice. I think I'm not entirely sure what's going on there. Probably talking to Simon, I think. And Jane Wilkinson saying, Ardbeg yuck. Actually, that's the sort of comment that on here could potentially get you lynched. Ardbeg yuck. You know, if you've got someone who's like a passionate, psychotic Ardbeg lover, they might even try and sort you out, find you, and yeah. Anyway, but you're probably safe. Just didn't want to worry you or anything. All right, next thing we got coming up is our second cocktail. But before we go to our second cocktail, I just want to remind you that the third cocktail is the one that we are going to mix together. So this is the first time that I've tried to get you to have the ingredients in front of you while I'm doing the drink so we can try and make it together. I've also kept it really simple to show you that actually some ingredients you just have sitting around the house you could use to make your bottles of spirit taste better in terms of cocktails. That's the third one. You're going to need a bottle of whiskey, any whiskey. In fact, I already know that one of you is not even using whiskey. You're going to use gin. You know what? If you've got another spirit, you can use that if you have no whiskey. But anyway, whiskey, a lemon, and some jam, or even some marmalade. Whatever it is, get it in front of you. That's going to be the third one coming up that we're going to do. We're looking forward to this, aren't we? Yeah, we are. How much are you looking forward to?
I think that's the one that you said that I won't like.
Well, I did say that you wouldn't like it. See, I'm actually not looking forward to this. Not looking forward to the potential critique that's going to come from my wife. But yeah, we'll have a go at that. In the meantime, we do have another cocktail for you. What have we got going on here? Simone, Black Grouse. Simone is it says Simone there, so I'm referring, sorry, Simi. All right, Simi, you're on Black Grouse. You love a smoky whiskey, a Lagavulin. Wow, see, now I never realized this. It looks like you're a serious whiskey drinker, actually. Paul Slade, not a peaty fan, another one. Wow, yeah, so because Paul, by the way, Simi, Paul is a like mad peat whiskey fan there. The Macallan, what is that? Oh, the one that I'm drinking, Barry? No, definitely not the Macallan. Although obviously, you know, Cheryl's got a Macallan on the go. Me, the Paul Slade. Peaty Whiskey's a good time for mixes, I suppose. All right. What else have we got going down there? Nita is saying, is it wild turkey? Could be. Could be close. Who knows? Keep that thought in your head.
What's Nita's surname?
Nita Jangra. Do you know Nita?
Yeah. Hi, Nita.
Nita, you know Cheryl? Say hi to Cheryl if you know Cheryl. Simone, what are we doing? What sort of glass is required? Sorry, I keep saying Simone because I'm reading it here. Simi, you can either have a martini glass like this, or you can have a rocks glass like this. Just something that's not too big, you know, around about 5-6 ounce glass. The shape actually doesn't matter, entirely up to you. What else have we got there? Wasn't expecting too much when I purchased this Suntory Toki, but I'm enjoying it more and more. Actually, that's quite a nice one. Liking that. What gin, says Tony. I'm not sure what gin is being used, but if you want to use gin, knock yourself out, that's fine. Okay, let me make some others. Ed's got a Jameson's Cask Mates on the go. I like that one as well. I actually, in a way, I wish I could find a whiskey that I could say I don't like that so much, but I know that I like them all, which I guess is some kind of drinking problem. All right, here we go. Second one that I'm going to do for you. I'm just going to get my chopping board out, and I'm going to get this. So I'm going to get a rocks glass, old-fashioned rocks glass. And this drink is based on a caipirinha, you know, with the lime and the cachaça all chopped up. So I'm using the same idea, same technique, but very different ingredients. So I think what I'll do is I'll put that there. We're going to start with one of these. Hopefully you recognize this. This is an orange. I'm going to take my orange, cut it in half. I only want half of the orange. And then I'm going to take, let me just take that out the back of the orange. Let's get that out. That's good. And then I'm going to cut the orange into small pieces, like so. Here we go. So I'm ending up cutting it in 3 by 3 again. I'm going to pop that in the glass here. All those pieces. So I've ended up cutting that half of an orange into 12 pieces. And in actual fact, it's not really a very large orange. So if you've got a large orange, you could probably just use a third or even a quarter, but I'm using half of this small orange. Now I'm going to add a few bits and pieces to this. I'm going to start with some granulated sugar. And I'm adding 2 forms of sweetness. One is the sugar, and you'll see the second one. But the sugar is in there because the granules actually help us in the next stage. So I want some granules in there around and sort of sprinkled over the orange pieces. You haven't seen me do this one before, have you?
No, I haven't actually. No, I'm curious.
Yeah, I'm curious. And also, I'm so happy that you're going to like it. And actually, to help me along the way with my wonderful wife liking this, I'm actually going to add an ingredient that I know she loves. And it also goes very well with orange, and that is cinnamon.
Yeah.
So I'm going to put a little bit of cinnamon in there. That's good as well.
Kind of smelling a bit Christmassy in there.
So this could be on our Christmas list.
Could be.
Could be. And then finally, the second bit of sweetness is some Canadian maple syrup. And I'm just dribbling, I reckon, about 5-6 ml of that in there. So the reason why I put the granulated sugar in there is that I'm going to start crushing all this together. And the granulated sugar helps the oils in the skin of the orange to release, because those oils actually will give a lot in terms of aroma and flavor. So I'm going to take my pestle, and now I'm just going to gently squeeze all of this together so that the flavors combine, so that the juice in the orange releases, and also the oils in the orange skin release. And then, of course, we've got the maple syrup being mashed up in there as well. Plus, we also have the cinnamon, which is my banker with you.
Last time I saw you do that,
Yeah.
did you break my favourite glass by any chance?
Oh, God. Why did I invite her as my guest? Why? Was it a good thing? Can you vote? Should I have invited my wife as my guest or not?
Just saying.
Yeah. You just being my wife?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Did I actually break your glass?
I think you did.
Did I?
Yeah.
That's not good, really, when I'm trying to put myself forward as some kind of authority on drinks. Before I take this any further, yes, Nita says hi, Cheryl. It was Nita. It is Nita. How you doing? Glenn Grant for Jeff. Carl, are you drinking a wild turkey? Carl also says wild turkey. We'll find out soon. Or a Krieger Lackey, maybe. Who knows? Lubka, what are you saying? If it's not wild turkey, So is it Russell's Reserve? Same distillery. You know, you're really not hedging your bets there, are you? Or maybe you are hedging your bets. And somebody else is saying also Wild Turkey Long Branch. We will find out in due course. Okay, so I've got in there the orange, which I've crushed up with the granulated sugar, the maple syrup, and of course the cinnamon. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pack it full of crushed ice. So I've got some crushed ice down here in my ice chest, and I'm going to fill up. Let's just break it up a little bit. You can't see me out of shot, but trust me, I'm filling up the glass with crushed ice. And we want to get it close to the top, like so. And now we are going to add our whiskey. Now this time, I'm going to actually add a little bit of Macallan, because Macallan will go beautifully with this. I'm going to bring the whiskey up pretty high, somewhere around about the 50 ml mark. So that's like a double shot. So if you're measuring that out, it's going to be around about 50 ml. And then we're just going to bring this together by gently mixing the ice and the whiskey with the orange pieces and the orange juice, and just gently get it to the point where all the flavors combine. And actually it's smelling amazing, because using the fresh orange is incredible. I mean, like 100 times better than using orange juice if you were doing that. But the way that the flavors like the maple syrup and also the cinnamon have combined, I think, and I'm feeling strong about this, that my wife is going to love this drink. Now, before we serve it up to her for the final taste, let's just get a little bit more crushed ice just to top it off. And this is our cocktail number 2. I didn't even tell you what it was called. I actually named this one an Orange Blossomed Again. So there's a famous gin drink called an Orange Blossom. I call this Orange Blossomed Again. Off you go. Tell us what you think.
So orange blossomed again after me.
Yes, after you. So what do you think?
I'm not sure.
Have a little taste.
Smells nice.
I think so. I think it smells good. Nita's saying I should have Cheryl on every week. Honestly, Nita, I can't tell you. They say don't work with kids and animals, and I've just added wives to that. So don't work with kids, animals, or wives, I think. But
you know what? I really like that.
Whoa, we're liking that. That's 2 for 2.
Yeah.
2 for 2. Wife's on. I'm mixing. 2 drinks down. She likes them both. It can't get any better than that. Or can it? Can we go 3 for 3? Barry's saying she's better looking than you. Thank you.
I've got more hair.
More hair, better looking. Barry, you're saying all the right things. Also, Barry, I seem to remember that you were full of compliments for my last guest as well. I'm starting to think now you just want me to have loads of female guests on this. Okay, Ed Hill, what are you saying? Old Forester Bourbon. Again, we're going to find out soon. Of course, Beauty and the Beast. Thank you. Listen, I told you last time I have a really fragile ego. You can't overdo it with this, otherwise, I'll just crack in front of you. Paul Slade, it's a good idea for us. Not sure about you. Simi, or an old smuggler. Right, Simi, you talking about the whiskey. We've got Wild Turkey here. Roz, what are you saying? Of course you should have invited your wife. Of course I should, and here she is. Right, what else have we got going on? Loads of stuff. For our 40th wedding anniversary this past Sunday, my wife got me a book you recommended on your website, Whiskey Cocktails. What do you think? You like it? You do? Good. Pleased to hear that. I'm really pleased to hear. Are you drinking Eagle Rare? I'll give you another clue in a second. Giving up now for Carl. All right, we've got 2 cocktails down. Remember, the next cocktail coming up is the one that we're going to mix together. And actually, my plan is that every week we're going to do this. I'm going to let you know the ingredients up front. Then you can make sure you've got stuff and we can mix them together. I mean, let's face it. For the next sort of 6, 8, 10, 12 weeks, we're all going to be locked down. We're going to need things to do, so we can knock ourselves out getting creative. Let me taste this.
It's really nice.
Wow. No.
Oh, that is good.
That is good.
I do like
I'm
that.
just going to congratulate myself on that.
Shall I give you a pat on the back?
Yeah, go on. That is good. You got to try these. These are absolutely fantastic cocktails. Really, really delicious with these. One we got coming up shortly, of course, is going to be the one that we're going to make together, which I've just said. Got another couple of facts for you. Remember, all these whiskey facts tonight lead to our little quiz at the end. which you can either enter for fun if you're not a member of Dream Whiskey's website, or if you want to enter for the actual prize giveaway, then you can sign up as a member on Dream Whiskies and you can enter that. And I'll tell you a little bit more about that in a second. But here we go. So, fact number 5, Ava Gardner, Hollywood royalty.
Yeah.
She had one wish in life, apparently one. Actually, I'm not sure this is her only wish, but this is the whiskey wish, right? She wanted to live to 150 years old and then die with a cigarette in one hand and a glass of whiskey in the other. Cool?
That's not bad. It's a bit like your wish, really, isn't it? You have one wish in life.
And what is that? I don't even want to ask you what my one wish in life is.
Right, so Paul's wish
Oh, no.
in life
Here we go. What is that?
was to get 365 whiskies,
It
one
was.
to represent every day of the year, and he still hasn't achieved it.
Thank you. I'm so pleased that you said that was my wish. I had no idea what was coming.
We didn't rehearse this, did we?
No. Oh my God. Don't broadcast with your wife. She's going to hang you out to dry. Or is it just my wife who's
Just
going to
your
do that? Well, okay. So, Ava Gardner, 150 years old. She wanted to die with a cigarette in one hand, a whiskey in the other hand. But she never made it, of course, because she died at 67. And we don't know if she died with the whiskey and the cigarette. But hey, that's her quote. And then I have another quote for you. And this is from Tommy Cooper. So look, if you are not from the United Kingdom, you probably don't know this guy. So Tommy Cooper was a famous British comedian in the 70s, 80s, I think 70s and 80s. Very, very tall and gangly, used to wear a fez and used to talk like that. He used to say, not like that, like that. That's how he used to talk. And he had this quote, and his quote was this. He said, I'm on a whiskey diet. I'm on a whiskey diet. I've lost 3 days already.
That's very good.
Wasn't that good? Favorite quote, my favorite whiskey quote. I'm on a whiskey diet. I've lost 3 days already. Remember that and all the other facts, because the questions are going to come up and they're going to cover what we've done there. Now, I'm going to tell you a little bit more about this, you know, the Guess the Whiskey thing, right? You have sort of got it so far. It is a wild turkey, but which wild turkey is it? Because they do quite a few and they do differ. The clue I was going to give you now was actually about an advertising campaign. I don't know if you know this, but in 2011, Wild Turkey came up with an advertising campaign which had someone doing that. So excuse me if you find that offensive, but doing that and saying, give them the bird, about the wild turkey. Hey. Anyway, look, let me give you another clue, and you might actually get exactly which one it is. Okay, so they have a number of varieties, including the Wild Turkey 101 and the 81 and the Wild Turkey Honey, but it's none of those. This one actually is slightly rarer. Which one have I got? All right, it's that time. We're coming up to that time. The time is the time that we are going to make that cocktail together. I'm sort of excited about this. Tony's saying, are you excited about
No,
this?
not really.
Why not?
Because I don't think it's going to be very nice.
Oh my goodness, I just got to tell you, right, the idea of making a cocktail with you came from Cheryl. She said, why don't you make a cocktail with the guys when they're on? And now what's happening? Sherry's saying Marlena Dietrich. I don't know why you're saying that, Sherry, but thank you for doing it. Bruce, what you got going on there? You could buy those sample size whiskies and achieve that goal. Ah, now there's an idea, although I'm guessing it wouldn't feel the same. Paul mustn't congratulate on your anniversary. Bruce, good, well done. Sherry, can we be your agent? You are amazing, you should be on TV. Thank you, Sherry. Yes, you can be my agent. Yes, you can get me on TV. And yes, of course. Right, so, cocktail. Remember, you need, by the way, who's doing this with me? I don't even know how many of you are actually doing this. If you have the ingredients and you are planning to mix this cocktail with me now, can you just say so in the comments? Just say, yeah, I'm with you, I'm doing it. We're gonna mix this. Let's see how it goes. Nita's had a guess, rare breed. Bruce has said rare breed. Jam at the ready says cat. Sherry's crying with laughter now, and Carl thinks it's rare breed. Wild Turkey rare. Okay, it's rare breed. It's rare breed. Jane says, "Where's the bloke in the corner?"
Hi, bloke in the corner.
He's there.
He's
Bloke
there.
in the corner is still in the corner.
He's still there.
Been there for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Looking a little bit hungry now. and could do with a shower.
A bit blue around the lips
Yes,
as well.
I think so. Right, who is it? Who's with me? You got it? Because I might be behind you, by the way, in the comments, just in case you're wondering. Right, Simon's got his lemon ready. I've heard that about you, Simon. The man with his lemon ready. Eddie's ready. Cat's in. Jane, you're ready. Bob. Right, great. Here we go. Really simple. This is very simple, but while we do this, I'm also going to, I'm just going to give you some other tips of other things you can do if you want to tweak this as we go along. We're going to use these ingredients to make a sour style cocktail, obviously, because the lemon's in there and we got the sweetness from the jam. A colleague of mine made a very, very famous cocktail, famous in the cocktail world anyway. He was the first person to bring together the idea of bourbon and lemon juice, but then sweeten it with something from breakfast, like marmalade, for example, and turn it into like a breakfast martini sour. And since he did that, which by the way is about 25 years ago, it has proven to be a really successful technique for creating these sort of drinks. And I wanted to show you because a lot of people say to me, love watching the cocktail stuff, but we don't have any of the ingredients at home. Well, the idea is that actually you probably do have ingredients that you can use at home. You just never think about it. And maybe that's what I'm going to do with you each week. I'm going to get you to pick out just random ingredients that you wouldn't think of necessarily using in cocktails, but you can to make some really fantastic drinks. So I am using this. I didn't even go for jam, essentially. Really what I've done is I've gone for Seville orange marmalade. I know Simi contacted me today and said something about a marmalade as well, a mandarin marmalade. But jams are great. So whatever you have, whatever makes you happy, really. I've got my lemon. And then, of course, we got some whiskey. And I'm going to go back to the Jameson. I'm going to use that Jameson whiskey. Let's put this to the side. Now, I'm going to pop this drink into a small little coupette type glass. You can put it in a martini. You could put it on the rocks as well if you wanted, in a slightly larger glass. Again, I'm not really that fussy about glasses unless you're very specifically making, I don't know, a martini which has got to go in a martini glass, or an old-fashioned which has got to go in an old-fashioned glass. Then just pick the one that works for you. So, first things first.
Can I just ask?
Yes.
So, you look worried.
I'm worried. Every time you speak, I'm worrying. Okay, what's the question?
Did you deliberately have an orange-themed cocktail tonight?
You mean across the...
Yeah, every single cocktail has oranges.
Deliberately.
Yeah?
There are no accidents here. Everything
okay.
is created and designed. She doesn't believe me. She doesn't believe me about that at all. Right, okay, I just need to talk to you while I try to deflect my wife for a second. Say hi to the bloke in the corner, says Simon. Simon, apparently the bloke in the corner's got a bit of an issue with you. Every time he tries to contact you, you're somewhere else. Mandarin marmalade was Simi. Yes, can't find the jam. Will Marmite do? Simon, try the Marmite. Let me know how it goes. I'm going to guess it's going to be a bit odd, but let us know how that goes. Paul Slay says, used to have a girlfriend who made me whiskey marmalade. Right. And you say you used to have a girlfriend? Hopefully you get hold of the recipe at least, something like that. All right, here we go. First things first, take your jam. Oh, by the way, you need a shaker. I know I've said this already, but you need something. You're going to have to shake this up. So either right now, have a screw top jar, like if this jar was empty, or a water bottle, or anything that you can do up. If you can't, by the way, for whatever reason you can't, then you can stir it together when we shake it. But you should have that. So we need to take some of our jam, whatever jam you're using. And I'm using my bar spoon here, but my bar spoon is equivalent really to a teaspoon. And I want a fair amount of sweetness, so I'm going to take a fair bit. There's no point skimping here because you need the sweetness, you need the flavor, and if you don't have enough, then it's going to be too sharp. The drink's going to be too sharp. So I'm taking 1, 2, and then a third spoon of my jam, my marmalade, into there. Now, once you've done this once, if you like the idea of it, but you think actually it's too sweet, you know what to do next time when you make it, just put less of this in. Or actually, if you think it's not sweet enough, then next time you make it, put more of it in. The next stage is really quite important from a technical point of view because jam or marmalade is often quite difficult to just shake together. So we need to break it down first. I'm going to break it down first by adding a little bit of whiskey, not too much, just a small amount. There we go. That's probably more than I wanted to add. But I'm going to use that to start breaking down my jam. So make sure you stir it together. You want to break it down. You don't want to go straight into the shaking phase before this is breaking down, because in a way you want this to be almost like a paste, almost like its own liquid, really. You don't want anything too solid. It's fine if you've got bits in there. I've got bits of orange peel. I guess if you've got jam, you might have seeds and things in there. But we're starting to get there. It's starting to break down, isn't it? Do you want to do that for a little bit while I talk to some people?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to get my wife to help out for a second while I talk to you. Manuka honey and lemon, yeah, that's a great combination for sure with the shivers, even better. Sandy is salivating as you speak. She's uncontrollable. Right, Mark, just want to check. She's salivating over the recipe and not simply salivating over my fabulous shirt.
She's not salivating over you either.
She's not? Okay. There you go. Another reason why you don't want to down Sandy down, says Jane. All right. Not too many people talking, but hopefully a number of people mixing. All right. I'm glad you put so much effort into that. You've never looked so completely engaged in this.
I deliberately look bored.
Yeah, it's your thing, right?
Yeah, it's my thing.
All right. So hopefully your jam is starting to look like that, more like a syrup. Because this is the syrup that is going to underpin your cocktail. Right, next thing, we're going to take our lemon. I'm going to cut the lemon in half, like so. And then I want the juice of all of that lemon. Now, there's various ways of juicing it. I've got a juicer here. As Jane sort of knows, this is called a Mexican elbow. But I'm going to use this, but if you haven't got that, just, you know, actually, people don't realize this. If you just take a fork and stick it in and break it around the fork, it will juice really, really well also. But then you can use your juicer, whatever you've got at home. What we're really looking for is around about 20 to 25 ml of lemon juice, which half a decent lemon will be. Okay, I'm going to try not to get this in your eye.
I was just thinking that's going to go straight in my eye.
No,
isn't it?
It's going to be...
It's going to be really awkward.
What I don't want is one of your screams where you scream and fly.
It could easily happen.
Fly up for the chair. And if your daughter is still watching because she was on, you know exactly what I mean about one of those screams. Okay, so actually having looked at the juice that I've got out of that half a lemon, it's not really enough. So I'm going to put in a little bit more.
Slightly inadequate.
It's an inadequate lemon.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we don't want to put anything inadequate in front of you. No, absolutely not. Right, so we have our lemon juice and we've got our jam, which we've broken down. And now we want to add the bulk of our whiskey. So I already put in about 10 or 15 ml. I want to get it up to 50. So I'm going to put in another 35, let's say. So that's 25 and then 15. And then hopefully at this stage, you're all at the same place that I am. You've got your jam in there, it's broken down, you've added your lemon juice, and you've got that all mixed together. I'm going to give you a chance to make sure you've got that and just see what else we're talking about here. Bruce, I'm making mine with bourbon whiskey and a locally made black raspberry jam and orange marmalade. Actually, the black raspberries and actually even the red raspberries and any of those sort of deep ones are beautiful flavors. Sounds fantastic, says Simon. I think so as well. I've got homemade raspberry jam and the Ardmore, liking that as well.
That sounds nice.
Yes, monkey elbow, as Jane says.
Monkey's elbow.
She calls that a monkey's elbow.
She does.
She just, yeah. Roz, sorry, not mixing with you today. I'm on antibiotics and no alcohol. Oh, sorry about that, Roz. Well, hopefully you're off them next week and then we're cool. Bruce, 20 ml, 3/4 of an ounce. So did somebody ask that? In CL. CL. So 20 ml is 2 CL, which is 3/4 of an ounce. Oh, you're asking me. So when I say 25 ml, Simi, I mean 2.5 CL. Yeah, that's how it goes. So just move the decimal point 1. Right, look, hopefully you've all got your bits and pieces in your glass. Now we're going to add some ice. So I'm just going to take some ice from out of my ice, just so I got my ice in here. Don't skimp on the ice. Make sure you got at least that much. and then I'm going to bring everything together. Now remember, if you're doing this in a jar or something else, just make sure everything is in the same place. You've got your ice and all your ingredients. Close it up and then shake with me. So I am now imagining that this very next moment, myself, along with a variety of other people, some locally who live in the same village as me, some who live right the way across the world in the United States, we're all doing this together. So, are you ready? Get your shaker and shake. There we go. This is an international shake. I'm feeling good. I can feel the vibes coming across the pond.
I can hear the voices.
Yeah, we can even hear it locally. All right, we're good. That's enough. If you've mixed everything as we said, and you've shaken it enough, then what we're going to do is strain our cocktail out. So, now I suppose I need to tell you this. Obviously, I'm using one of these to strain the cocktail, but if you don't have something like this, then you can use a tea strainer to strain it, or you can even get a very large spoon, like a dessert spoon, and hold the ice back. The idea is we just want to keep the ice back. So let me just give that a little stir, because I've been talking a bit too long. And then we're going to bring that up to the surface, like so. And let's just get these out of the way. So hopefully you got yours in the glass. And then, and I didn't give you this as an ingredient, because it's not really an ingredient, but I'm going to garnish it with a little bit of fruit. You can garnish it with whatever you want. We happen to have some raspberries. So I'm going to take a cocktail stick and just pop these raspberries on. You can put any kind of fruit on here. You can chop up a bit of lemon and put it on a cocktail stick. You can drop a piece of lemon in there. You can get a little bit of orange and put it on the side. Whatever you want.
Nice cherry.
Cherry would be nice. Let's just pop that there. In fact, as you remember, I've got the other half of the orange from earlier on. So I might just take a little slice of orange, like so. And I'll probably just slip that in the side. Oh, it's dropped down in.
That was a bit useless.
Was that a bit rubbish? Okay, let's put another one in there, like that.
The same thing.
Okay, I've done the same thing. But hey, that's our drink.
It's floating on the top.
It's looking good. I think that looks good. Now, if you've done this, and hopefully you have, you've created a cocktail at home thinking you only had whiskey, or in Sandy's case, I remember you only had gin, but in actual fact, you've taken things out of your cupboard and come up with actually a really nice cocktail. Do you want to taste it? Because you don't think you're going to like this.
Well, this is one you said you weren't sure that I would like.
No, because it's a sour style cocktail, so I'm thinking that it's not your thing, but it'd be interesting to see whether we've actually managed to do 3 out of 3 with you.
But is this the one that you said to me earlier, if I don't like it, I've still got to pretend that I don't like it?
No, that's not what I said. That was the other one. If you didn't like it. Don't work with your wives! Don't do it! Right, just drink it and tell them what you think. Be honest, because you can only do that, right? You can only be honest. Wow. How are you doing that then? Did you do it? Shaking with you, baby. Free fitness class, absolutely. I couldn't find my drink shaker. She used an insulated drink tumbler with a lid. That sounds good. It's a something from Sherry. Sandy, confused. Did you say half a measure or half a bottle? We've now run out. I'm shaking. Wow, it turned out great. You can take it from me. Marmite does not work, says Simon. There we go. Yum yum gin and raspberry jam from Sandy. Superb. Tell them the truth. What do you think? Come on. Tell them.
It's really nice.
Oh, 3 from 3. 3 cocktails. Biggest critic, and she loves them all. Hopefully, you're loving yours now. Unfortunately,
it's quite sharp though.
It is a sharp drink. It's meant to be. It's meant to be sour.
I tried drinking too much just for fun.
Really? Shall I have a go? Oh God, it's gorgeous.
It's really nice.
I'm loving it. And I'll happily say if I don't like a drink that I make, but I think tonight we've had quite a success.
I've caned the other one.
Yeah, what happened to the other one?
It's
already gone. Right. Okay. We are. I would love you to be able to. Bruce, you're behind us. Bruce Bislin, you about how many spoonfuls of jam? Bruce, I'm saying 2 or 3, depending on how sweet you want it. But 3 is a good number. I use 3 in mine. Richie, the face tells it all. Hat trick, says Bruce. Absolutely right. Ed, delicious. Good. Look, I would really love it if you guys could take a photo of your drink and, when this broadcast is over, just post them on the Facebook page. Stick your drinks up there. Really, I'd love to see what you've done. We're going to do this every week, by the way. I'm going to put out the ingredients in advance. I think it's going to be a new thing, long time coming, but I think it's fun and it works well. And we've all got to find ways of interacting with each other over these next sort of few weeks and months anyway. So put up pictures of your drinks. Really want to see them. As far as we're concerned, these have gone down really well. Okay, so we're getting to that time of the broadcast where I'm going to give you my last fact, and then I'm just going to do some announcements about this week's Spot Prize competition, how you can enter it, and also what we got coming up next week as well. So my last fact for you. Oh, by the way, the whiskey. What was it? I think a number of you said it. It was indeed a Wild Turkey Rare Breed. If you were the first one to get that, and I'm not entirely sure who said it first, but if you're the first one to get that, congratulations to you. Well done. It shows you really know your whiskey. And now I can say goodbye to this because I don't need it anymore. Cheers.
Cheers. I think it was Nita. I think the first time I heard you say the Rare Breed was with Nita.
Nita, your friend?
Yeah, Nita, my friend.
Nita, your friend, seems to really know her whiskey. Excuse me.
Yeah.
That's the Wild Turkey. I told you, it's a 54.1%. It's 108.2 proof. And it makes you do that if you drink it and then try to talk at the same time. Nita, well done. Simi's saying, oh my goodness, delish, very sour-ish delish. Delighted to hear that. Lubka, nice idea. Thank you, Lubka. So look, last bit of information for you, then I'm going to set the questions for our little quiz. So, in fact, Johnny Carson, remember Johnny Carson, the chat show host? So he was a dedicated whiskey drinker, really big whiskey drinker. And he once said this, he said, happiness is having a rare steak, a bottle of whiskey, and a dog to eat the rare steak. There you go, all about the whiskey. That's 7 facts, 7 celebrities, 7 quotes from those celebrities, and this is how it works. And I'm just saying this again for those of you that are not regulars with us. So I'm about to ask 4 questions. To answer these questions and give yourself a chance of winning the prize, you have to go onto our website, but you have to be a member of the website. Right? So if you don't want to be a member of the website, it's no problem. We love having you here for our broadcast just for a bit of fun, and then you can do this as a bit of fun. But if you want to answer and you want a chance of being our prize winner and actually winning the prize, you have to sign up as a member, and we even give you 30 days free. So even if you only want to do it for 30 days free and you never actually want to be a proper member, you can still have a go and you can do it. So that's how you do it. The link is in the description. I'm going to ask you 4 questions now based on the facts that I shared with you throughout this broadcast. You go to the link which says enter our VIP Spot Prize giveaway here. It's in the description. You go to that link and then you can find a checkbox where you can just tick off your answers and then put your entry in. Really simple. That's how you do that. Who else is talking to us before I go into these questions? Nita, yay! From Nita. Lubka, I was the first. Lubka was the first. Right, Lubka, Nita, you need to fight. Have a big fight over that. Horsley makes you do a turkey impression. Thank you very much. And Barry missed the first fact. Whoa, Barry, you'd probably be able to work this out, I'm thinking anyway. Yeah, Barry, I reckon you'll be able to work this out. I probably can't tell you the first fact because I'm just about to ask you a question specifically about that. But you will be able to work it out. And I might help you out later on as well. All right, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. 4 questions about tonight's celebrity facts, celebrity whiskey facts. First question is this. What was the name of the whiskey that Jack Daniels released to commemorate the life of Frank Sinatra? And I even held a bottle of it up here because in fact, it's just sitting out a shot right now. So what was the name of that whiskey? Question number 2. Why did Raymond Chandler describe himself as an equal opportunities drinker? What was the reasoning and the thought behind that? Why was he an equal opportunities drinker? Question number 3. How much had Tommy Cooper lost on his whiskey diet? How much had Tommy Cooper lost on his whiskey diet? And the fourth question is the final question to enter our VIP spot prize giveaway where you can win that Glencairn glass. What did Ava Gardner want in her hands when she died? So what was her wish? What did she want in her hands when she died? Now, all you have to do, don't put the answers here, by the way. If you're new to us, we don't put the answers here. What you do is you click on the link, and there's a few links in the description. But click on the link, the one that says enter the VIP spot prize giveaway here. You will find the 4 questions, multiple choice, tick off the right answers, and put your entry in. And like I say, if you're not a member and you don't want to sign up to be a member, not a problem. You can just sort of play along at home for fun. And maybe if I see you next week, I'll tell you what it's going to be. Right, so that's that. Let me just go through those questions very quickly once again. Question 1, what was the name of the whiskey that Jack Daniels released to commemorate the life of Frank Sinatra? 2, why did Raymond Chandler describe himself as an equal opportunities drinker? 3, how much did Tommy Cooper lose on his whiskey diet? And 4, what did Ava Gardner want in her hands when she died? You know where to go if you want to answer this. Give us about 10 to 15 seconds after the broadcast so I can update the page, and then the answers will be there and you can have a go. Other things to tell you. VIP membership. Once you've had a 30-day free trial of our VIP membership, it costs £5 a month to remain as a member. But if you would like to win a year's membership with us for free, we have a free competition on the go. It's been running for about 2 weeks, and it's got about 2 weeks more to go. And you can enter that right now for your chance of winning a whole year's membership for free. And the link is also in the description. So if you don't want to pay and you want to get it for free, or at least want to have a chance of doing that, enter that. What have you got to lose? Let's see a few more comments before we wrap things up. Bruce, that's what the replay is for. Ah, yes, good idea, replay. Trevor Nichols just joined. Trevor, thank you for joining us. We've only been on for an hour, and you've joined just in time for us to say thank you very much and goodbye. But thanks for joining us. Barry, I know Bruce, but Paul said, facts, yes, absolutely. Jane, hi, Trevor Nichols. Trevor Nichols, hi. Nita, when do I get my free drink? Nita, you need to speak to Cheryl about that. Sherry, hi, Trev. Lots of stuff going on. Great live broadcast. Thank you very much. Okay, look, everybody, I think tonight has been a success. I have somehow got through this with my wife sitting here, relatively unscathed, I think. Do you want her back? Or should we just ban her from coming? By the way, we've seen Alfie, haven't we? So okay. So a huge thank you for Cheryl as my official taster for saying mostly nice things about the drinks.
I tried.
A huge thank you for you to coming along and joining us and having some fun. Those other cocktails, let us know. The cocktail that we made together, please take a photograph of yourself and stick it on our website. I will comment on them all. And remember, throughout this whole period, unless I get struck down myself, unless I'm feeling really ill, we will keep broadcasting every Wednesday. At the moment, touch wood, we're good, and hopefully it will stay that way. But we will keep going because we want to stay in touch with you. We want to have some fun with you. It really doesn't matter whether you're a Dream Whiskies member or not. These broadcasts are open to absolutely everyone, so be part of it. Keep joining us. It's every Wednesday night at 7 o'clock UK time. Before we go, let's just check out a few more of these. Thank you so much, both of you. Stay safe. Same to you, Simi. Jane, brilliant. Paul, thanks for a great night. Yes, bring back Cheryl. Yes, okay. Simon, thanks, Paul. Great show as always. Yes, from Barry. More Cheryl from Carl. Yes, Luca. Yes, everyone wants you back. That's not worked out so well for me. Yeah. Okay. Have her back. She sure knows how to down those cocktails. Richard Webster. Too true, too true. You're brilliant. Thank you. Look, everyone, look after yourselves. Be safe. Keep well. And we will see you next week. So 7 o'clock next Wednesday. Be there. Until then, God bless.
Bye.